Welcome to the Steve Reeve Podcast with the best moments from the past week and a few things that didn't make it to air. Tuesday.
A new celebrity rival for the fans of the Edmonton Oilers has revealed themselves to the world on the night of their great defeat. Wow. 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 None other than Owen Wilson. That is who showed their face in the arena in Vancouver yesterday to ultimately see the loss happen before the end of the third period, and almost could have tied it up on the last shot that swung wildly at the net right before the buzzer hit zero. So I mean, it could have been an OT kind of situation. It wasn't definitely Edmonton's game as it seemed like it was at the end of the second, but we'll get into the details. Owen Wilson, so sorry that your team couldn't win last night, but I mean, that does turn everything now to Canada's team being the Oilers, and leaving fans of Vancouver saying just but one thing. Wow. You knew I had to. Yeah, I mean back with a hot dogumentary and everything. The delicious sliced in half so you get extra crispy, caramelization going on the surface area of the hot dog with only mustard, relish, cheese, and bacon is back again at A&W. So delicious. I love those things. Remember when they brought it back in 2022? And then about 2 weeks later, you drive up to the window and they tell you the glorious WhistleDog was off the menu again? Well, it just came back, as of today, actually. Well, they returned today, and in the press release, Director of Marketing for A&W, Amanda Wang, says they were totally caught off guard by the demand. They just sold out 2 years ago, which halted the campaign, as well as the release of the now award-winning doc, Bring Back the WhistleDog, which is 18 minutes long and available to watch right now with a link through on the blog at cruzradio.com. And now we have one of the best lines of marketing that I've read in quite some time. Amanda Wang went on to say, "We've prepared a ridiculous number of wieners this time around." I am a child. There's no way we're running out again. They promise. Challenge accepted, Amanda. Challenge accepted.
You're listening to the Steve Reeve Podcast from 100.5 Cruz FM.
Brian May of Queen was just helping out with The Offspring, playing songs along the lines of Gone Away and Stone Cold Crazy from Queen's repertoire as well. They were doing a whole career-spanning hit show, and with the incredible Queen guitarists playing alongside them at a festival, Starmus 7 in Bratislava, Slovakia, of all places. Very, very cool. But in the interview surrounding that, Brian May of Queen says that it was really Pete Townsend who gets the credit for everything. Basically invented rock guitar. Went on to say, "My playing owes so much to him." This is on a photo that he shared on Instagram of himself with Townsend, and several really, really kind words about the artist himself, saying that Pete Townsend's a god of guitar and always will be. I'd seen him stand there and let the guitar explode into life on its own. Dolly Parton in the news as well, for unfortunately sad reasons, as she is remembering the life of actor Dabney Coleman, who was in the film 9 to 5, who died last week at the age of 92. Of course, Dolly Parton providing the theme song. Joining me right now, a couple of representatives of a big important event happening towards the end of the month, the Walk for Alzheimer's. I'm here with Danny Richardson with IG Wealth Management, title sponsor, as well as Shannon Smith-Garnier, the regional lead for Alzheimer's Society, Alberta and Northwest Territories. Hello, how are you guys doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm so glad to have you guys here. Doing good. It's looking busy. I love it. And this is another opportunity to get outside for a very, of course, important reason. Sunday, May 26th, kicking off at about 9, walk at actual 11, McDonald Island Park football field. But beyond that, what is the Walk for Alzheimer's? It's probably right there in the name, but let us know. Why is it so important to support?
It's important to support because we do have community members that are affected by not only Alzheimer's disease, but other dementias as well.
Yeah.
And it's allowing community to come together and create those memories and support for, you could be walking for somebody who may have passed on, your grandmother, or you could be walking for somebody you're caring for today and bring them out to the walk, as it's it's inclusive, and they can create a memory with a barbecue afterwards. So,
yeah. Not to mention the future. People in the future are going to benefit as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, it must be important for IG Wealth Management as title sponsor to support this. Why do you guys come to the table for this event in particular?
With Alzheimer's Society, it's a massive thing that's affecting so many Canadians. There's over 650,000 families having to help a family member with this, and we're going to be well over 1 million by 2030, right? And any person that's supporting or living with dementia, there's a massive financial burden that comes with that. And as IG Wealth Management, we're a financial planning firm, right? So, and we try our best to plan for the unexpected, but it's difficult, right? It's something you never want to happen. So it can be tricky to plan for it. And, partnering with the Alzheimer Society, they have so many resources and knowledge that they can help these families with to make sure that they can take care of their loved ones, and on a personal note, IG Wealth Management, Jeff Kanye, our last CEO, he was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's, and this disease doesn't pick and choose people, right? It can affect anybody at any age.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter what. Yeah, exactly. No discrimination. It can happen to anybody, right? And so it's just really getting awareness of the society and all the good it does for all the communities. And what I love about it is this walk that we have here in Fort McMurray. All the money stays here, right? Yeah. Shannon takes control and just gives everything she can back to the community, which we love, right? And all of the walks across Canada, we just love to make sure everyone's taken care of.
That's so incredible, and it is something that everybody has a connection to somebody who is affected, to a family that's affected, to a history of the family, the stories that have been told, and it's to just be able to get together with people and also share in that as a group, as a collective. It's so important. So if you are able to take part Sunday, May 26th, or of course support in other ways, how can people get involved?
You can either join our website if you go onto the Alzheimer's Society of Alberta and Northwest Territories.ca website, or you could do walk at alzheimers.ab.ca and click Fort McMurray and either create a team, join yourself, donate if you are unable to attend. Again, we are here to create awareness that this has an impact in our community, and we want to help people and families live well with dementia.
Wednesday.
A Reddit poll has found that 13% of men would take a penny from a urinal. Yeah, take the results with a grain of salt, but is that why they picked the bear? Is that the reason why? No, I know why they picked the bear. I don't know why this segment of the male population is touching any coinage or otherwise legal tender in any urinal besides an unused display model. Really, I would have a moment's consideration if a brand new penny just cooled down, fresh from the Royal Canadian Mint, were being handed to me. I go, because it's a penny. If your idea of a good time is finding a penny in a urinal, just wait until I tell you about how common the take a penny, leave a penny trays used to be. But they don't really have them anymore because no one cares about a penny. Just let it be. The Super Hockey fans have got a little bit of a wait, at least for watching Team Canada in action again as the Edmonton Oilers have advanced. You got a little bit of time. Day or two left. Some time on the clock. But that means that the focus is going on to some of the other sports, and what catching a 110-mile-per-hour foul ball from Blue Jay Bo Bichette looks like has now been revealed, specifically catching it in the forehead. All I can say is, ouch! Fan Liz, don't call her Lizzie McGuire, tweeted the team showing a fresh goose egg, probably bigger than I've ever seen. This was on Sunday after the game, and the legendary shiner that it developed into a little bit later on as well, saying that she did stay until the end of the game, but it was not for naught. She wasn't able to get the ball that hit her, or any other souvenirs. But she since has been hooked up by the team, the signed ball. The team organization has definitely offered her one that has not caused her any harm, so she's got that memorabilia and some tickets as well to sit in the foul ball line of fire once again. Absolutely epic. Take your Tylenol, Liz.
Hey Alexa, play the Steve Reeve podcast.
Daryl Hall, John Oates, the feud continues, and John Oates was just on Good Morning America doing an interview where he held back very, very little about the struggle, the strain between the two, talking about how he had tried to free himself of the whole, Hall and Oates of it all, and there was, no real love between the two guys for the last several years, so he thought, well, I'll just sell my half of the thing, and it's not a big deal. A lot of people sell their catalog all the time, and well, it wasn't really received well by the other party and was prevented in court, causing all kinds of legal issues that are still kind of broiling today. But ironically, he does say that no, there's no reunion that is on the books, that is in the likely future. John Oates saying, no, not going to happen. But he was promoting on Good Morning America his new solo album, which is called Reunion. Kind of interesting there. Elton John, surprise new album, maybe just a couple of weeks away. We don't know for sure, but co-writer and longtime collaborator Bernie Taupin did say, in the funniest way, I daren't say anything about it because I'm under strict orders. It's done and recorded. So he does say something, but not anything really. And an anniversary was marked. Josh Freese has been with the Foo Fighters for 1 year after replacing the late Taylor Hawkins, who died March 25th of 2020 at the age of 50. And, of course, big emotional, touching tribute from drummer Josh Freese on the anniversary, saying, I continue to miss Taylor, as does the band, his family, friends, and the rest of the world. The evacuation order lifted. So glad people have returned. A great number. Maybe not everybody. Maybe a little bit of an extended vacation for some few, but honestly, a burden for most, the evacuation situation, and completely understandable that it had to happen for, the risk that was potential, despite the rain coming and not needing it so much. I mean, it's a hindsight 2020 thing. It's so easy to say, oh, all those people who left town, especially the people that didn't get evacuated, oh, how silly, nothing even happened. Yeah, okay, well, we know that now, but that was not always the case, all right? So settle down, cowboy. Don't need to be such a badass. Leave some for the rest of us. Some people actually facing the reality of the situation, and that is that it was hard. And one thing that's really hard is how people were told, and not to say it was a bad choice, but to give people an idea of timeline based on the evidence and situation that was present. People were told not to expect to be home before the end of the long weekend, Tuesday at the earliest on the 21st. But we know that the evacuation order was lifted sooner than that. And also we know that 7 days seems to be this cutoff number for if people are going to be getting support, relief support. And people were anticipating that. I think $1,250 per adult. And it's not coming because it wasn't a full week. I think it should be maybe 3 days. Honestly, I think there should be something for even an overnight. Somebody's evacuated for several hours. Super inconvenient, absolutely. But, days with a full family, that's a lot of money out of pocket. That can be extremely expensive, even with supports that were available, even with the money that was spent, even with the Canadian Red Cross trying to find evacuees food and personal services and lodging and things like that. But my thought is, if there was any money left over from what was raised post-2016, we were able to see an animated film, which was really cool, come out of that. But still, I think there was a little bit of money on the table. Don't quote me. It's probably time to divvy some of that up and help some of the people who are struggling throughout Fort McMurray out, if possible. I mean, somebody look into it. Something got to be able to be done.
Thursday.
What drivers agree are the most annoying things passengers do? And what's not on there is what I find to be really, really hilarious and also ridiculous. So what is on there first? Being drunk, number 10. Hey, sometimes you're DD, can't help it. Number 9, putting feet on the dashboard. 8, giving the wrong directions. 7, not wearing the seatbelt. 6, being distracting in general. Leaving litter in the car, number 5. Being sick, number 4. Backseat driving, number 3. Littering out the window, number 2. And smoking, number 1. Yeah, that all seems to track. I mean, some vehicles are definitely smoking vehicles even to this day. You can tell as soon as that door opens, whew, there's the smell. But you know what isn't on here that I can't believe it didn't make the list is changing the radio station or the music in general. I mean, caveat being unless assigned the DJ duties, especially on a road trip, that is perfectly okay. But just drivers selected something, a little bit of background noise, a little bit of music, a little bit of trying to catch up with what's going on in my neighborhood. Don't touch the dial. Can't believe that changing the station isn't on there. How rude. Apple Music has just released a list of the 100 best albums of all time, according to them. And, at first you might think, well, it's all based on, listenership. It's what are the most heard albums of all time. It's not quite that. Because, who knows? Somebody might just be spinning albums without even listening to them. Just got the iPhone, on replay mode. No, they actually got in a bunch of industry experts, along with Apple Music's inside team, select artists, songwriters, producers, and professionals, and basically an editorial statement. So it's, it's opinion more than it is just data. So what is the opinion then? What are in the top 10? Well, I do have a list for you up at the blog at cruiseradio.com, and it does link through to the full list of the top 10, but rapid fire. Number 10, Lemonade, Beyonce. Number 9, Nevermind from Nirvana. Back to Black from Amy Winehouse is in the number 8 spot. Good Kid, Mad City from Kendrick Lamar, number 7. Songs in the Key of Life from Stevie Wonder makes it to the number 6. Frank Ocean's Blonde, number 5. Purple Rain from Prince of the Revolution is your number 4. Abbey Road, The Beatles, number 3. Best-selling album of all time, Thriller, Michael Jackson, the number 2. And it is The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill by Lauryn Hill, making it into the number 1 spot. Maybe a bid to try and help her think about making some new music. Don't hold your breath, though, of course. Agree or disagree? Zeroing in on those top 10s or even the full 100. What do you think? What is the best album of all time? I, for one, am incensed that they didn't put Weird Al's The TV album on there. Or, as Canadians might remember it a little bit better, I still have the CD somewhere in a cracked jewel case. The Much Music TV album. Why is that not in the top 100?
You're listening to the Steve Reeve podcast from 100.5 Cruz FM.
Oasis is calling out once again, saying, hey, you want to listen to our debut album? It's been 30 years after all. Definitely Maybe has got a 30th anniversary reissue with some unheard songs going into it, at least unheard versions of songs, and unreleased recordings, outtakes that are supposed to give, quote, a fascinating new insight into Definitely Maybe. It's available for pre-order right now, limited 4P record, deluxe 2 CD, 2 LP, August 30th from Big Brother Records is when that's available. John Bon Jovi's son, Jake Bon Jovi, is going to be starring in the new film about a hair metal band that's available already to stream. It's called Rock Bottom, all about an 80s set hair metal band, fictional, called Cougar Snake, and really kind of zeroing in on the real life story of the era and the music industry. Forgotten glam acts, but forgotten into even in the 1980s, but by 2024 especially forgotten, but already available. Rock Bottom is out to stream on YouTube as well as a few different locations, but all behind paywall. Live Nation in the biggest news in the music industry for the week, about to face an antitrust lawsuit over the monopoly accusations of live music venues and the selling of tickets, the access to music that fans have got. It's expected that on Thursday, aka today, the lawsuit is going to be filed by the U.S. Department of Justice at some point. Of course, Live Nation and the parent company Ticketmaster yet to give a full reaction. Of course, I'm sure they're waiting for the fine details of what this lawsuit is expected to say. I'm a little annoyed this morning reading that Alberta Wildfire put out the news that 33 new wildfires were responded to over the long weekend. Now, to be clear, that is across the province. I don't mean that's right here at home. As far as I know, no new major wild starts have happened in our near area, our immediate vicinity, but 33 new wildfires responded to over the long weekend, 27 of those deemed human-caused, and the remaining 6 under investigation. Probably likely that some of those are as well. So, I mean, at least 27 of them were completely preventable, is what that means. Even with the wildfire hazard set at low for us in the Fort McMurray and area south of Athabasca, Lake Athabasca, they can still start. Wildfires can still start. Don't be complacent is the biggest thing. Feels like the message keeps falling on deaf ears, but it still needs to be said over and over every single year. Nobody knows exactly how to say it so that it actually lands, I guess, but just be smart. Be safe. Extinguish your fires. Don't get complacent about hotspots. Above all else, figure it out.
Friday.
it's Red Lobster, and it's not good. They've unfortunately had some bad financial times, and specifically down in the States, they have filed for bankruptcy, and now they are asking that in Canada, it's recognized that the Chapter 11 filing. Really what caught my eye, though, is that they actually cited some of the potential reasons for why they seem to be having this issue and seem to be finding themselves declaring insolvency. And one is that it's partly due to the all-you-can-eat shrimp promotion that did become permanent after last summer on the menu. All-you-can-eat shrimp promotion, and now they're insolvent. I mean, I just wondering, no confirmation, but was Homer Simpson involved?
That man ate all our shrimp and 2 plastic lobsters.
"'Tis no man, 'tis a remorseless eating machine. Arr."
Where's that little household job that you just avoid doing? It's a blind spot for you. And you know it's easy to do, you've done it a million times, and then when it's time to do it again, you go, yeah, maybe later, and just leave it, hoping that maybe somebody else will take care of it. Now, that's like a can of worms, because I truly think for some people, that's like every chore around the house. If I just don't do it, somebody else will. It's magic. It's magic how that laundry just got done. No, it's not. Somebody did it. But what is the little like blind spot for you? I can tell you right now, for my significant other, it's refilling the ice tray. It's not that it never happens. It's just how often any tiny little setback, any tiny little speed bump is going to make that so that I'm finding the ice tray empty on the counter beside the sink instead of just filled up, put back in. But I mean, we all have our things, and that's my question. What is the thing that you just hate doing? Not again around the house. Like a tiny job, and yet somehow seems like the biggest thing in the world to you. What is it?
You're listening to the Steve Reeve Podcast from 100.5 Cruz FM.
Sublime back in the news again because they've got a new song out. Now, for the longest time after the death of the frontman of the band, Bradley Nowell, they were not able to perform. Then they signed up with Rome. It was Sublime and Rome for the longest time. And most recently, that has no longer been the case. Now the band, back to just being called Sublime, is fronted by Bradley Nowell's son, Jacob. And they have put out a new song that features some audio from Bradley Nowell from 1996. It's called Feel Like That, and features a hook from a 1996 studio recording that the band did put down but never became a song. And this isn't exactly the song that was in that demo, but has been formed into a brand new thing featuring some of the very, very incredible history of the band and the people that were involved in it. That is available now. They're going to be putting out some more new music in the near future as well. Ozzy Osbourne reveals his fear. What is the Prince of Darkness afraid of? Well, on one of the most recent episodes of the Osbournes podcast, speaking with Sharon as Kelly and Jack, they were all being asked what their greatest fears were. Ozzy quickly responding, rats. And then, and your mom, referring to Sharon and wife and manager. Which, I mean, fair. Fair to have a healthy amount of fear in that situation of both scenarios, but the family members quickly ribbing Ozzy quickly to say, hey, you're being such a jerk. Fair enough. A dog out there in the world that the entire internet is aware of and has some level of adoration for has passed away. Kabosu, the Shiba Inu, basically Doge. You know the Doge meme. It was so huge for a little while there, like 10 plus years ago, 15 years ago maybe. And maybe a little bit after that, but still, I mean, it's been quite a long time since we saw all those Comic Sans multicolored memes. Wow, such a maze. Doge for sure. And this also turned into a huge thing in the cryptocurrency space. Dogecoin, of course, was something that Elon Musk apparently jokingly was saying, hey, yeah, you definitely got to invest in this, and then was taken to task legally after people were like, you can't just inflate the value of something and then ditch and then dip afterwards. But he was saying it was always a joke. Always a joke. Anyway, Kabosu has passed away at the age of almost 19 years old, which is forever in dog years. A long and simple life, apparently living outside of Tokyo with the adoptive school teacher who took him in so many years ago, and probably very, very unaware of the fame that this dog had. The one regret that Kabosu had in life was becoming the face of cryptocurrency for a while there. Everything else was roses.
Transmission over. Want more Steve? New podcast episodes happen every Friday, or just tune into the Steve Reeve Show. Weekday mornings starting at 5:30 a.m. on 100.5 Cruz FM.